computer. Well, hello there. This is Joan, your host, Joan Turner, and your awesome co-host, Deborah Carpenter.
Hello.
See, I remembered your name. I remembered her name this time.
You better.
And we are the Intuitive Body and Soul, a very people-first community. And today we wanted to talk to someone really special who really has a lot to add, especially at this time. Everyone's kind of home. A lot of people having a hard time dealing with the isolation.
Kids.
Yeah, kids at home and all this and that. So for today, we have a person, all right, who is very child kind of oriented. He has his a live TV show on Facebook that he runs once a week. He is an author. He is a writer. He is a musician. He just spent time at the Harmony Express, Epsom Public Library. So help us in welcoming today's guest, and this is Aaron Risi. Aaron Risi. So we want to see if we can get him back in here. Aaron, are you there, darling?
I am here.
Okay,
How are you
everyone.
today?
So everyone help us welcome Aaron Risi to the show. And I wanted to have you on because I was telling everyone that you're very child and kid oriented, and I told them that you do your TV show, you're an author, you're a writer, you're a musician, you're all that good stuff. Yeah, so it's like, oh, we got to talk to him and see.
Aaron, how did you start all this?
How did you get into all it?
I've been a lifelong artist, and I mean, what you see behind me is the banner for my book, A Moose with a Uke. But as I've mentioned to you guys, I started out by doing greeting cards and sent one to Joan, and she let me know that she received it. And, you know, really, I just enjoy sending somebody a card in the mail, you know, for whatever season it may be. And over the years, these cards have morphed into the book. So here's one from last winter. There's last Halloween.
Ah, nice.
There's Christmas.
Cool.
So I've been doing the cards for about 5 or 6 years, and about a year and a half ago, my mom, aka my marketing team, said to me, why don't we try and put together a children's book? Because I've just always wanted to do something.
It was Mom's idea?
She encouraged me to the point to where it got all the way done. So I would say that I would not have been able to do this without my mother.
Oh.
So yeah,
Thank
it is
you,
definitely,
Mom. Thank
I
you,
owe
Mom.
a great deal of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you started writing these. What you sent out cards because you like cards, but you made up all the drawings on them, right?
Yeah, and again, the one I sent you that you just complimented me on is the spring or Easter card. And what I love doing is hiding things in there. So you got E for Easter. The word hope is hidden in the image somewhere. And I just love sending them to people and thinking about what their reaction is going to be when they get the mail, because most of the time it's just bills. But over the years, you know, it started out with 10 cards, and that started out with the whole family, and then it morphed into more and more people. And now you can go on my website, and if you have somebody that you think wants a greeting card, you send me their address, and I just mail them a card. Stamps on me.
Do you put
it's
a
about
moose?
1,000 cards now, and
Do you put a
Sorry?
moose in your card? Do you put the moose on your card?
you know, I have in the past ones, like this Halloween one was Moose with a Uke theme. We have all the characters from the book in there. And again, there's the hidden word. So, you know, you can see the characters in the card. Not everything is Moose with a Uke themed. And I'm kind of glad that you brought that up, because I'll be also working with the staff at BATV to start producing a TV show that will feature all of my art beyond a Moose with a Uke. So I'm kind of glad that you mentioned that, because
who else is there? I know we have Doris, Dolores, and who else? Who else do we have? We have the Moose with Oak. We have Doris, Dolores.
She plays the banjo.
Yeah.
I don't have a great picture of them here, but you have Sonny the Bear, who's dressed up like a mummy in this picture. He plays the fiddle. Vince Hairdo, he's my 50s rock star guy. He plays the guitar. Mr. Arthur the Bunny plays the upright bass. And there's Doris Dolores dressed up as a witch right there.
I love it. I love it.
Doris the witch.
Doris Dolores the witch. Okay, so now you have your own TV show. You go live on Facebook once a week. You are an author, you're a writer, you're a musician, you have all this cool stuff going on. Your TV show, is it geared towards children? Now everyone is home and all the kids are home. This is something that they can watch and do together. What do you do there? Coloring pages, sing a song? What do you do there on the show?
So the live show that you just mentioned will be leading up to when we can get back into the studio to shoot in-studio shows. But for now, I've been doing a show every week on Fridays on Facebook Live. Some of the shows are sponsored by local libraries, so the times vary. But what I'm going to ask people to do is go to my website, amoosewithayuke.com. It'll be updated this weekend with all my schedule for the next coming 4 Fridays,
cool.
so people will know exactly where to go.
And they should like them and subscribe. Is this like a YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel as well?
You know, I am on every single social media platform, because don't you have to be?
You gotta be nowadays, yeah.
Right. So if you go on Facebook, just type in A Moose with a Uke. It'll take you right to the page. And yes, I would appreciate it if you like the Moose with a Uke page. And from there on Facebook, you can get all the information for the shows there. So it's either my website or Facebook are the main places to get information about shows and books and things.
What can kids do there? What do you do there with them? Obviously you sing with them and you're gonna play some songs for us, but what else do they do? Like if they're watching your show, is it interactive? Are you saying to them, let me teach you how to draw this bus?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that.
Aha.
Better to show than to just tell. So one of the components to the show that I really enjoyed is showing everybody step by step how to draw. So yes, the kids can come and watch me play ukulele, but at the same time, they can come and watch me draw Monty the Moose, and I'll walk people step by step through. So first you draw the snout, and then you draw 2 C's and connect the line at the bottom. And then we're gonna do some upside down triangles for the fur on Monty's chin. And we'll do his jawline coming out to here. Then the next step is to go to the circle here and draw the bridge of his nose, and then in between his eyes. And I always like to draw Monty with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
So he looks super happy. And from there, we're going to complete his hair, which as you can see is a whole bunch of triangles. And it's all step by step. Next, we'll draw Monty's ears, which I always tell everybody to draw a sideways S and then a C. Whoop, connect it right there. Another sideways S and a C. Whoop. And the last component are the antlers. And I like to describe them as drawing waves on the ocean. Wave, 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 swoop. Wave, 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 swoop. So, and you can, get detail, throw some nostrils in there. But this is an example of one of the things we do every week on the show. This week on the show that I did this morning, we drew the bus. That's a huge component of the story. Here's the book itself. And the
Hold up
bus,
the book again. Let us see the front of the book again, honey.
Oh, sorry. That's the book. It's called A Moose with the Uke. And the bus, which is a huge component of the story, we drew today. And I encouraged the viewers to draw it and then color it in. And what the viewers will do is email me their drawings, and I show the drawings on the next week's show.
Nice, kids like
That is excellent. Yeah.
So here's an example.
Work is acknowledged.
People send me their drawings from live shows I've done. This was a cartoon I posted on the A Moose with a Uke page. Again, it was a coloring page. Somebody printed it out at their home and they colored it in.
Oh, nice.
And if you look real close, you can see the word love hidden right in there. I love hiding positive messages in my artwork.
I know, and you know something, even if they're not aware of it, they'll still see it subliminally, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, again, I want people to print them out, color them in, send them to me, and I love showing them on the air. Here's a letter a viewer wrote me. Today's theme was sharing appreciation, so I just talked about that on the show today and gave them a little example of sharing appreciation, and I dedicated the show to everybody that's out there, all the frontline and essential workers that are still out there. So
That's right.
lots of different activities during the show.
I like your shirt, by the way. I like all
I
those
picked it
oops.
special just for you.
Special just for us, Dara. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so that's a really cool thing because now people can download and print the coloring pages. You actually
Exactly.
now you know that I'm an artist as well as
I do.
as being a talker person. Hey,
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was
Big
waiting for that.
big mouth.
And I was watching like the words that you were using and the basic shapes that you were using, like circle for the snout.
Yeah,
You're using
The waves for the
wave. So
for
it
the
was like
antlers.
you were using basic shape to help people draw that, which is
Oh, I
artistic
really do.
language there. So are you formally trained
Well, yeah,
art or just self-learned, self-taught?
I am not going to be one of those people that says they've never received an education. I showed promise in art very, very young, so my parents encouraged me, and I did art to some capacity in school, all the way up through high school and a little bit in college. And yeah, so I've had formal training and also some of the stuff I've learned on my own. So a little bit of both for me.
That's very, very cool. All right. And you can tell it shows. So is cartooning your favorite?
My favorite. I
Your
love it.
favorite.
I love to, as you know, I showed you the cards. I love telling a story with a single image.
Yeah.
That's just my, I like to show like a lot of fluidity and activity in the drawings. So
Yep.
the drawing itself just tells a little story. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. So you are going to actually sing a song for us. I see your ook is at the ready. What are you going to sing for us?
Yeah. Oh man, Ook's always at the ready. So I was gonna play
How many ooks do you
the theme
have?
song for the show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How many ooks do you have? People who
I have
are musicians.
two actual ooks that I play
Yeah.
on air or live, but I have all the ones that I purchased that I give away to people for contests and for different giveaways. So
Cool.
another component of the show will be to have a recipient come on the air and they'll get an ook. One of the first ones is actually going to be a senior living center here in Dover. So that'll be part of the show.
Oh, nice, nice.
That'll be for a while. You're not going to get there for a while.
I know. I know.
Do you know who, we'll do a little plug for Gary Krasinski, Creekman. Do you remember him at all?
I do.
He plays that accordion. And you know what he does is he goes and he stands outside the nursing homes and people, and they like open the window and he plays and whatnot.
Oh my gosh,
It's
that's
amazing.
Nice. I didn't know
it's
that.
amazing.
That's really nice.
So you're going to have to go out there like a minstrel and go outside and
serenade them.
Yeah, serenade them. That would be awesome. So
I think that'd be fun.
Have your little girl stand with the moose with the uke sign.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, behind you.
Just
Right?
about getting to the age where she's starting to participate.
Nice.
How old is she? How old is she now?
2.5. She'll be 3 in August.
Oh my God,
She's
what a cute age.
bambino. She's a little bambino.
And then I have my son is due to be born in 5 weeks.
Oh my God! Congratulations!
I knew he was having another one. Good, good. That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! Can't wait.
That is so
did you
cool.
pick out a name yet? Did you pick out a name yet?
His name is going to be Henry. So my daughter's name is Grace, and my son's name will be Henry, but we're going to call him Hank.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Well, we're rooting for Hank.
We're rooting for Hank. So what song are you going to do for us today?
Well, actually, I was going to run through 2 really quick. One is the theme song for the show. It'll be incorporated with the cartoon that I'm doing, that component of it. And then the other one is a song about, the song's called Do Good Deeds. So the first one's the theme song. There once was a moose with a uke, sharing in the harmony groove. Then one day he got swept away. He's on a journey, learning to play. Spending every day dancing with his friends. The fantastic voyage never ends. Hope you come visit the forest soon. We'll waiting for you. We'll be right here waiting for you. And then after I read the letter from a fan at every show, I play this song. Do good deeds, help people with their needs. Hold open the door, let others go before. Pick up your toys off the floor. Wash your hands and do your chores. Dream your dreams, in yourself you believe. Shine your light for the world to receive. Helping hands and offering love and the joy it brings. Do good deeds, help people with their needs. Hold open the door, let others go before. Pick up your toys off the floor. Wash your hands and do your chores.
And now it's do your homework.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
a good
right?
song even for the adults, right? Do your chores.
Yeah.
That is extremely cool. I was actually listening to, you had sent me a recording of that earlier in the week, and I was listening to it, and I thought how appropriate, especially for now, the kids are home. I was talking to one mom yesterday, and she's like, yeah, she has 3 kids, you know? So she's like, I'm trying to work from home. I have these 3 kids to take care of, housework. And now that they're doing all the schoolwork and stuff online, the teacher sent her an email saying that her child's stuff was late and she didn't even know.
You are the teacher. The parent is the teacher.
Yep. So
Right. Yeah.
so what you're doing is absolutely excellent because it's occupying the kids' time, but it's quality content. You know, do your chores, do good work. There's a good message there, and then you're engaging them, you know, with the art and do you ever like read your book? Do you read the book on air, like
You know,
shows?
I try to keep the program like flowing, and you know, people have suggested reading the book or telling part of the story, but I just have more fun doing kind of quick, structured segments. You know, as a musician and a songwriter, your natural inclination is to go on and, oh, I just want everybody to hear my songs. But again, my mom, you know, discussing it with me, you know, pointed out that you just got to keep it like moving. So really the shows are going to consist of, I come out, actually I have a little surprise for both of you that I'll show you. I do a quick little puppet show, and then I do, I read letters from kids, and then we do the ukulele and then the drawing, and that's really it. And they're 5-minute segments. Like this is Doris Dolores.
Hello, Doris.
Doris Dolores here. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
today,
Doris.
Aaron will play ukulele for you, and we'll read letters from fans. So.
Hello, Doris Dolores. I like her.
Aaron, is this the only book you've written?
That was going to be my question too. Where's the rest of the books? Where's the rest? You going to write some more?
You know, I had the ambition to write a second book this year, but I realized, and again, my mom, my wife, they pointed out that we birthed this baby and we want to, you know, nurture it and let it grow. So the book itself has just become more of a music program, and it's become one component of the new TV show, which I'm calling the Harmony Express.
I know, I saw that, Harmony Express. Okay, and that's the one you did at the
I just started it last week.
Yeah, you did that at the Epsom Public Library, right? Now, are they going to?
Right, well, that show will be next Friday.
Oh, okay. So so you're going to shoot that Friday, or it's already out and will not be shown until Friday?
It'll be a live show, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Epsom Public Library page. But you can get the info from A Moose with a Uke on Facebook or my webpage, amoosewithauke.com.
Okay, so that's something that people can look forward to. And and you're going to do some programming on BATV. Now, BATV is our home, so you're in good hands over there. you know, Bob and
I
Tara
know, they're
and
so
the rest of
nice.
the crew. I mean, you're in really good hands there.
You're like the new Mr. Rogers.
The new Mr.
Well, that is a
Booth.
very nice comparison because he's a wonderful person. So,
Yes. Yeah,
he
his
is.
movie was
just
really
try
good.
and
He
pay
had-
attention to what he's saying to people,
Yeah.
and you know, all the stuff that he and the lessons he taught throughout the years. It holds up, and you know, kind of like the Beatles borrowed from Buddy Holly, I'm gonna borrow a little bit from him. So
Good,
you know.
good work. So
Perfect.
let me ask you a question. What kind of impact do you want to make on the world?
I would love to see people explore their talents and abilities. If I can
Nice.
show them a way to get there, there might be a person that enjoys drawing, playing ukulele, and somehow to them it seems inaccessible. I can show them step by step how you can learn how to do cartooning through these short videos and then take it from there. And the reason I like to draw the drawings empty this way is I encourage people, draw them out, color them in, send them to me, and I'll show them on the air, which is just so much fun for everybody.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is extremely cool. So the impact you want to have is to let people know that the human spirit is kind of unlimited. You know what I mean? I mean, at some point you can kind of argue that, you know, there's a ceiling there, but it's so far away from where we are right now. You know, we can do a lot of things that are very actionable to make that happen for people. And I think what you're doing is extremely, extremely cool. So I'm
Thank you.
wondering if you'll play another song for us to kind of, before you do, let
I
everybody
will.
know
I
once
have an
again.
appropriate one.
Say what?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'll let you finish.
All right. I was going to say, before you start singing, we want you once again to say your Facebook page and how people can get a hold of you. We want to know if your mother will come and work for us because she seems to be doing a good job with
She's a
you.
good organizer.
A good organizer. And just let people know. Let people know. Where again, and I know you have already, but say it one last time, and then play us out. Play some songs.
I will. First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me on your show today.
You are so
This
welcome.
is the second time I've been on, and we've had a great time both times.
We have, yes.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Joan. You guys are
Welcome.
Yeah,
wonderful.
very welcome. Thank you, Aaron.
And I look forward to many, many more interactions and interviews.
Absolutely.
It just gets more and more fun. So, you know, I'm just here to encourage and inspire people. We're going to have a lot of fun on these live shows. Please check out my Facebook page, Aaron Risi, AARONRISI, or A Moose with a Uke on Facebook. My website is amoosewithayuke.com. You can purchase the book there. I also have the coloring book that accompanies it. The bundle sells for $20, and 10% of your sale gets donated to a local nonprofit, the Dover Children's Home.
Oh, cool.
They're a wonderful organization I work with up here.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
try and help them out as much as I can.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking some time to come and visit with us. And like I said, I think you really have a lot to contribute. And especially at this time, it's kind of this big, huge global pause where, you know, the entire world is focused. For the first time, the entire world is focused on one singular thing. So, you know, I think this helps with, you know, the children, also the adults. This is an extremely cool thing. So we want to.
I want everybody to watch.
Yeah.
I want everybody to watch and come
Yeah.
on and draw stuff and just have a good time. That's why I keep it moving like that, because, you know, I noticed, because I've been doing this for a year now, kids aren't going to sit through a concert, but they'll sit through a couple of songs and boogie down. I mean, when I do the songs during the show, I encourage everybody to stand up and get boogieing, and then we do the drawing. So
That's
they
perfect.
leave
That's
with-
Get 'em moving.
perfect. That's perfect for me. I like to dance. Is there an age group that is good, or just anyone? I mean, I think adults.
I get
would
all
enjoy it.
ages. You know, I'll show some drawings and read some letters next week, but it really is for all ages. I even have adults that came on and drew the bus today and want their bus drawn show
okay.
next week. So I will be doing that.
Very cool.
But it's for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, just want to come on, have a good time, high energy, positive message, no exterior influences whatsoever, if you catch my drift. And that's it. Just a fun time. And hopefully we all learn something from each other from it.
Excellent. Excellent. Go right ahead, my darling. We are waiting. I
All right,
love it.
well, I hope everybody can see the live show next week, 3:30 p.m. on my Facebook Live page of Moose with a Uke. This is a song I play at the end of the show. It's called The Goodbye Lullaby. I hope you enjoy it. Well, my friends, it's been such a good time. Sorry, but we have to go. We learned something new to tell everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Believe in yourself, take a look inside. Share your beauty with all the world. I'll see you again, my newest friends will be together like a string of pearls.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Yay.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And we hope you'll come and visit us again. And carry on. You are doing such good work. Everyone, make sure that you like Aaron's stuff. If you're YouTubing or whatever it is that you're doing, hit the notification bells. And I think if you like a page on Facebook, that automatically kind of gives you notifications when the person
It does,
does
exactly.
Okay, so we want to encourage everyone to do that because you are such an awesome person, and it goes beyond talent.
Right.
Okay, you're just
You're
a very
very
good
sweet.
person.
Program's excellent.
Program.
I also want to thank the staff at BATV. Tara and everybody else there are wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
great.
really looking forward to working with everybody. Everybody stay safe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. All right?
Yay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
All right.
Aaron.
Take care.
Are we off?
No, stop that.
Okay.
All right, we are still recording, Ms. Deborah, okay? Because we want to thank everyone for watching and visiting with us. Again, we are the Intuitive Body and Soul, affectionately known as TIBS TV. We are at www.intuitivebodyandsoul.com, okay? And you can get Deborah's information there too. She has these wonderful healing programs, and we get lots of questions for her, like, how do I stop the pain in my knee, or how do I do this, or how do I do that? So she's available to answer questions for us as well. And Aaron mentioned BATV, and like I said, that's our second home. Okay, BATV is www.batvinc.org. All right, so all of our programs are there. So if you go on to their website, not only will you learn all about BATV, you can click on the Intuitive Body and Soul and get all of our really cool programs. We've had some awesome people on.
You have.
Yeah.
We've done private ones.
Well, our shows are on BATV, all the shows that we've done, and we're into our third year. So hopefully we get to go back into the studio, because we've had Rebecca Jones on, she's a healer, Carenza Ransom, Mike Stevens is people first, ufologist type of community there. Bob Russo, he's Brusa, and he's the Warrior Connection. Warrior Connection, and he's a guy. Now, if you don't see any of the show, you should definitely watch them all, but you should watch his, especially if you have PTSD. He is a 2-time soul survivor, Green Beret. And if you don't think he didn't come back with some guilt and PTSD, and to hear his story is absolutely amazing.
He's amazing.
He's an amazing person. So he's been on Alinda Thomas. She's a medium and reader, and she also does speaking as well. We've had Denise Logan on, Daria. That one, yes, we've been doing this for 3 years. We've had so many cool people on. We absolutely, especially now that you actually have time to kind of do this, we're kind of wanting, there's a lot of fear porn out there, and it's definitely a very serious time. You have to practice the social distancing, when you go out shopping, you have the mask on, the gloves, the whole bit. And so everyone knows that they have to they have to practice, you know, the safe distancing and so on and so
Be
forth.
careful.
Be careful, like use your head. Debbie always says, you know, don't be fearful, but don't walk out in front of the bus either.
Yeah.
Is that how the saying goes?
Yeah.
She's like, don't walk out in front of the bus. Be careful. Try not to be fearful, but don't be walking out in front of the bus either. I crack up when she says it because it's true. It is true. So, you know, I think the fear porn that's going on, you know, we talk about intuitive body. Okay, so the body is, you know, boost your immune system, take your vitamins, get some extra sleep, so on and so forth. But it's also body and soul, all right? So the spirit part has to be nourished as well.
Positive, be very positive. There are some good things that this
That's still going on.
still goes on.
Okay.
People are being so kind and so generous with their time. It's amazing how people step up.
And that's what I said. This is a time of heroes. All the heroes are coming out,
Yeah.
and frontliners, and you are one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Deb is one of them. She is out there, and she's a healer through and through. And CNA, she's out there frontlining.
I do hospice. I have a hospice patient now. Yeah.
And I mean, these are people who cannot take care of themselves. So if you don't go take care of them, they are like, they can't take care of themselves.
No.
Your oldest patient is like 101 or something.
She is.
101.
She's very healthy.
She's very healthy. And so, you know, you're a frontliner. She's out there. She's, you know, all of these heroes are kind of coming out of the wall. And people are stepping up, you know, they're helping their neighbors, you know, reach out. And again, you know, the spiritual side of things.
You know, I said I did hospice, and I do, but she's not on hospice. So you can't say she's healthy and be on hospice. So she's not on hospice. Normally,
she has
I do
a
that.
number of people that you
Right.
work with. So
one
more
of them
specific.
is the 101.
Yeah, which I think is totally amazing. And she's probably 101 because all your good care. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You know? Because what I noticed about you is not only you take care of people, you're also exuding the energy. And you kind of do it naturally. You know what I mean, Chill? You know, if she's going to do something for you or what, you can feel her exuding the energy too. And I don't think half the time she's even doing it consciously. I think it just
Well, what do they
happens.
say? If you want something done, ask a busy person. I don't know. I have an 89-year-old mother too that
She
she's a
keeps
challenge.
you hopping. She keeps you hopping.
She's a challenge and a half.
Yeah, a lot of people out there are managing parents, and
Oh, a lot.
it's difficult to do because
Neighbors, elderly neighbors
Yeah.
who don't really have anybody.
But the
Yeah.
children
I
themselves.
cook for my whole street.
But children are actually trying to manage older patients, their care. I mean, parents, their care and whatnot. Very difficult because now the nursing homes don't want you in there.
Mhm.
A bit of good news. I was listening to Haverhill Wave, which is the Haverhill radio station. They're based out of Haverhill, is where I live, and they reported that Holy Family Hospital, and they have one in Haverhill and one in Methuen, reported the last 4 days a steady decrease in people being admitted with COVID-19 symptoms. So that's one piece of good news, all right? And then, of course, you know, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you hear, but that's one, you know, that's a good thing.
Admitted, yes. But
Yeah.
how many people, you know, have it and go home and, you know, deal with it at home or try to?
The director of the CDC said 98-point-something% of people who get sick recover. Okay.
That's amazing.
That's an amazing thing. And I mean, it doesn't, you know, it's probably not a comfort to those who have lost people to the disease. But I think, you know, keeping, you know, giving your immunity a boost, you know, your immune system, you know,
Right.
take your vitamins, add some zinc, you know, listen to the advice. Yeah, be as healthy as you can, especially if you have a compromised immune system.
Yes.
And do your meditations. Everyone, meditate, because your mind has to be healthy as well. It's not a belief system, it's science. If you hold negativity or stress in your body, for any great length of time, that creates sickness. You're
Develops.
the healer, you're the
Yep.
CNA,
It
right?
develops into a sickness, yes.
Okay, so your body can't, you want to keep your body and soul, body and spirit. We're looking for a balance here. So the way that you do that is through meditation, quieting the mind, yoga, whatever it might be.
Nice music
Nice music.
in your house, clear it out.
Yeah, you want to maintain a positive attitude. And like I said, there are a lot of people, 90% of the people who have contacted us are having a hard time dealing with the isolation.
Yeah.
One woman said that she's having a hard time dealing with the isolation, but she'll still only go out once a week to do her grocery shopping and any other shopping that she needs to do. She does it all in that one day because she does have a compromised immune system. And when she goes out, she's nervous about being out in public. So she does everything all at once. But on the other hand, she said that's the one day of the week that she looks forward to because she lives alone and that's the only time she gets out. So reach out to people, and talking on the phone is extremely cool. I'm finding that the video part adds another dimension to it. So instead of calling people, I've actually been face chatting them and looking at them and saying, oh yeah, okay, yep, you look awesome, baby, so it adds it's like a visit. So reach out to your friends, reach out to people that, are alone. Yeah. And a lot of us, we're extremely lucky, but we do meditate. I do add extra vitamins and stuff. I have absolutely no symptoms or anything. But if you can still carry COVID and be asymptomatic, correct?
Yeah, a lot of things.
Okay, so even if you're feeling absolutely awesome, all right, you still need to wear your mask and your gloves and all this and that, correct?
Now it's unusual when you don't in the supermarket.
I know.
You're looked very oddly if you don't.
Supermarket tip. We were talking about this earlier. I had stopped at Market Basket, and like most places, they're practicing safe distancing. And they're only allowing, like, I think one person in for every 1,000 feet of store or something on that idea. So when I stopped, I only needed eggs. So I pull up to the store. One thing, need eggs. I pull up to the store and then I'm looking and I see this line of people and they are standing about 6 feet apart, but the line goes the length of the store on the outside and around the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking and looking and looking.
I was there this morning.
You were there this morning, but I'm like looking at it and saying, all right, how badly do I want these eggs, because I'm trying to eat a lot of protein because your cells are made up of protein and the protein. So I finally decided peanut butter has lots of protein in it too. I'll eat peanut butter. And then I had this
and then
guidance.
She'll call Debbie. If you go to the store, pick me up eggs.
And that always works. I'll say to her, if you happen to be in the store, you're shopping for yourself or your mother, and I always say to her, but don't make a special trip.
I know.
But I had this feeling, okay, try a different store. So Aldi's is kind of what came to me. So I did go to Aldi's. Not only was there not a line, I got eggs. I like to buy organic food because I think getting good quality food, again, helps your immune system. And I have been eating organic at least the past 2 or 3 years. So I try to kind of stay with that. And so they had my eggs, they had organic butter, they had organic chicken, and so on and so forth. So, so a little plug for Aldi's here because they kind of deserved it. There was a guy outside and he was disinfecting all the carriages. And if you've ever been there, they have that quarter system. You have to put a quarter in this little slot to get your cart. And then when you bring the cart back, you get your quarter back. Now, the idea behind this is they keep their costs low because they don't have to send someone out into the parking lot to collect carriages because you brought it back because you're cheapo and you want your quarter back. Okay. So that works. That works, right? So there's this guy out there, and he's wiping down all the carriages, and I didn't even have to pay the quarter because he said it was easier for him if, you know, he just gave us the carriage. So I went in, I got my stuff. They are doing the one up and down type, you know, one-way aisles, you know, so that, and they do ask you, there's things, these little stickers on the floor, you know, this is 6 feet. So, and then when I went to the register, the person who was ringing was behind this plexiglass shield. And I said to the girl, it happened to be a woman, I said, wow, I said, what a great idea. I said, does that, you know, is that helping you to feel safer? She said, absolutely. So a little plug for all of these there, because I think that they're really, you know, trying to meet demand. While I was there, there were people there stocking, and they have quite a bit of organic food.
It's hard to talk to the deli guy when you have a mask on your mouth.
That's right.
And
that's right.
He's like, what did you say? So I had to point to the ham, that ham over there.
Let me ask you a question. When I was in Market Basket and I had my mask on and stuff. And what I found is I didn't like having my face covered. And so I was breathing deeper, you know, and I found myself breathing deeper. What does that mean? Is that worse, better? What's the scoop?
I don't know, but it has to cover your nose.
Yes, it did.
It has to cover your chin.
Yeah, it
and
did.
Tight.
Yeah.
Things come up.
Yeah.
So it has to cover. Because a lot of people, they don't like their nose. And it is hot. You know, when it gets hot in the summer, that's going to be a little uncomfortable.
Do you think this will last till summertime?
I think we're going to wear masks. You know, months ago, I saw China, the people in China with all these masks, you know, walking down the street. And I was like, that's kind of ridiculous, you know, overly ridiculous. And then I'm like, so I'll eat those words because we're doing it too.
Yeah, we are doing it too. Absolutely.
So, wow.
I don't know if you got a chance to watch, the director of CDC said that they want to start to open the country back up because, you know, we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. If we stay home, it wrecks the economy. If we go out, you're putting people in peril health-wise. So we're kind of between a rock and a hard place here.
You know, it's good like the flu.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying.
If we're healthy, we won't. It's an awful thing to say. It's like the luck of the draw.
Yeah. Well, you know, and again, compromised immune system. So work with that. And what this director was saying that we want to start opening things up a little bit, but it's not going to be an across the board thing.
We're just going to have to wash our hands all the time, sanitize our hands all the time.
Yes.
Don't touch your face.
Yeah. Yes. So he's talking about it won't be this blanket thing, you know, so certain parts will open up, older, you know, people, nursing homes, so on and so forth, will probably still do some distancing there. Cities and towns that have the most recent outbreaks will be the last to kind of open up.
I know some of my friends in the nursing homes, they're tested every day as they walk in for fever. And they're also, on the weekends, they live there. They sleep there.
I don't remember what hospital it was, but there was a doctor, and I know I've said it maybe on some of the other shows, but he has a family. He has a wife, kids, and he works at one of the Boston hospitals, and he hasn't been home. He lives there. He eats there. He sleeps
is that on
there.
TV?
I think it was. It may have been on TV. It was definitely online, okay, because that's where I saw it. That's quite a sacrifice.
That's a
quite a sacrifice.
That's a big sacrifice.
So, you know.
Keeps the hospital going, though.
Yeah, he feels he's a doctor. It's his duty, and, you know, so he's doing his duty. On the other hand, he doesn't want to, you know, put his family at risk, so he doesn't go home. The guy has been living at the hospital. He hasn't been home, you know, like for a month.
I think he should put a hazmat suit on and go see his kids.
Well, he probably does this. He probably does this.
His
you know, he
poor
probably
wife.
Zooms.
I took care of 2 kids for 2 weeks, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I heard it. But the kids are awesome, though. The kids are awesome. They have so much energy. It's like, you know,
they don't want to do their homework, so you turn around and they're gone. It's like, where they go?
Those kids go.
Yeah. in school, at least they're in their chairs and, you know, peer pressure too.
Well, no.
But not at home. They're
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a social thing. When you're at home, you're free. You kind of do whatever.
I feel for these mothers, let me tell you.
Yes,
Parents.
yes. I was talking to my cousin just yesterday. What's today? Today's Friday. I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and she said, you know, having to do the schoolwork at home.
Yeah. You're the teacher.
You know, unless and nowadays technology, everything is so automated, and I do it myself. I have a group. You know, you create a group, and on that group, I might put TIBS TV. That would be Bob, you, Tara. Okay, so there's a group, and then you just hit one button, and then everyone gets notified. All right, so the kids' school kind of did the same thing. Okay, the kids' schoolwork, the schoolwork has to be in by a certain time, so on and so forth. Well, my cousin is busy with the kids, with everything else she's doing. She didn't get the email, okay, because she doesn't check it every day. I immediately thought of you. So she didn't get the email, so now the teacher's calling her and saying her daughter's behind, and that she has to. And she's like, Joni, and I said, I know. I said, it's difficult because for the teacher, it's easier to hit one button and have all the information go out.
Well, there's other children in the house, and they're, you know, they're fast. There's something going on. Something gets banged or whatever, and then you have to investigate.
That's right.
It's like, who fell?
What happened? What was that noise?
Yeah, it's.
Do I have all the kids here? Let me take a head count.
Really, it's a challenge.
Again, it's a challenge because she doesn't, you know, she doesn't sit in front of the computer. She's taking care of her kids. Right. And yeah, she's a mom. And so, and on the other hand, you have the teacher who's trying to reach out to everyone, and it's a challenge for the teachers as well to try and teach online. And so
at these kids' school, they had a parade last week. I took them. All their teachers backed into the parking spaces. A lot of them had SUVs. Opened up the back, and they had balloons and all kinds of.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, balloons,
cool.
and we miss you, we love you, and streamers hanging from the top of the
Where
car.
Was this? What city?
In Atkinson.
Oh, nice.
Plasto, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And so as a parade, we had the kids. I had the two in my car, and we went in the car and in a parade, and we went by all these teachers waving, and the kids were so excited because their friends who were part of the, teachers' kids too. Oh, they loved it. They loved it. And then they wanted to go through again, and it's like, no, just once.
How many times can we do this,
kids? The teachers were so nice. They were so nice. And we miss you. We love you. And, calling them by name. And, it was really nice.
And that kind of follows through with what you were saying earlier. This is heroic. This is heroic stuff.
Well, I kept saying to the kids, you need to remember this. You're going to tell your children that you went through this. They were playing on their electronic games, and they're going, yeah, okay.
But it is making memories. It is making memories.
I hope so.
Because
it's making my memory. I'll remember it always.
Or lack thereof. That's it. It's like, yeah. But I have to say, this, if you're not been affected, because I was listening to one person, and they said, we're all in the same boat, this and that. And I thought to myself, we're not all in the same boat. Some of us are managing sick or elderly parents, and some of us are not. Some of us have
working,
kids, some don't have kids, some are frontlining, some of us are not. So we're not all in the same boat. Some people have jobs where, they can work from home and they're still receiving a full paycheck, so they're not worried about paying their bills. And then there are people who are self-employed. I have a friend who opened up a restaurant last year who is now, her restaurant is closed. Too. So we're not all in the same boat.
Do you know how many people I've talked to that need hairdressing? These men, I was in the grocery store. They had masks on, but they had nice curly hair.
Long curly hair.
All the curls are coming out.
And you know what I think is funny? Not only they're letting the hair grow because I can't get to the hairdressers, the beards. I'm talking to my girlfriend online, and her husband goes, "Hi, Jody," and I'm like, what the heck is that on your face, you know? And so he's like, oh, it's a little bit gray. I said, yeah, if you're going to grow that thing, dye it or something, you know what I mean? And so I was joking around with him. He actually looked very distinguished with a little bit of gray.
We're going to have to get used to wearing pants that are not elastic waist and not sweatpants.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? We're eating.
You go back to work, they're going to have to be, you know, proper pants with zippers. Everybody's in sweatpants.
Well, you know, I have a remedy for that. You know, if you just say, you know, just stop eating, that it doesn't work.
No.
But what I decided I would do is I live in a townhouse. It's 3 floors. So I have 3 flights of stairs. So what I did is instead of, you know, I try not to eat too much more than I usually eat. But what I did is I added 10 up and down the stairs to I get up and I
10
do
trips up
10
and down.
trips up and down the stairs. And I was walking like for a half hour a day on my treadmill. So now I added the stairs to it to kind of wear off some of the calories.
This is because she made coconut Easter eggs and peanut butter Easter eggs that are amazing. And how many did you eat?
Actually, I have eaten 2 whole ones. Okay, but it took
They're good.
The week before Easter. I made them the week before Easter, and the peanut butter one is like, if you like Reese's peanut butter cups, they're like eating a big Reese. And the coconut ones kind of taste like Mounds bars, okay? Not Almond Joys, but Mounds bars. And they're homemade. So you can put as much chocolate as you want into them and so on and so forth. This was a secret recipe.
I think you better make 30 trips up the stairs.
What is she trying to tell me?
Wow.
So this is actually a secret recipe I learned from a woman. I used to work outside the home. So this was about 30 years ago. And there was a woman who traveled around with her husband because he was in the service. So one Easter, you know, because she didn't know a lot of people and we had gotten friendly, she said, will you come over and help me make Easter eggs? So I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, yeah, great. Let's go make Easter eggs. But that's what I was saying on the inside. On the outside, oh, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. You know, so I go to her house and she has 9 pounds of confectionery sugar, 3 pounds of butter,
and 7 containers of marshmallow.
Only 4. She exaggerates. 4 and 4 pounds of dark chocolate and all this stuff. And so I'm looking at her like, I thought we were going to make Easter eggs. She said, we are. She's going to make coconut cream, peanut butter, and at that time she made a fruit and nut as well. So you make like this basic recipe of dough, which is kind of candy.
You're going to share that?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
That would be nice.
It was a secret recipe, but it was a secret recipe like 30 years ago. And it was handed down from her grandmother to her mother to her. Really nice. So it was a big family recipe. And I have a feeling that some of those people are in spirit now, and we thank them. And I have been making those eggs ever since because in a way to thank me for going and helping her, she gave me the recipe. And so if anyone would like the recipe, I will definitely share it with you. Talk to them. I'm going to go get the eggs so you can see what they look like.
Talk to them.
Talk to the people, Dad.
Now I get my time. What are we going to talk about, Joni?
Coming back.
Oh, she's coming back.
She's coming back.
She's coming back with the eggs.
So these are, this is what they look like. Oh, they're going to go flying. Let me see here. I want to, so you can see.
Yeah, she decorated them too.
Yes. So on the inside, they peanut butter and coconut. And the way that I distinguish, everyone laughs at me, but it works. So after they're covered with the chocolate, you don't know what's underneath them, except I color code them. So the coconut ones have little white dots. And I don't make the fruit and nut, so anything that doesn't have a little white dot is peanut butter, right? But when I used to make 3 different kinds. When my father was alive, he liked the fruit and nut. So then I used to have to color code them all. So now I just, you know.
The fruit and nut, what kind of fruit?
Citron and nuts, walnuts.
Oh.
So I used to chop them all up. And like I said, there's a basic kind of candy recipe. I'm going to put this over here. Just because it's near you does not mean you can eat them all, Deborah. She has her own. She has her own. So, so yes, I think, especially now, and they don't have to be Easter eggs. You could make heart shapes for Valentine's Day. You could just make candy because you want to, right? So they don't necessarily have to be Easter eggs.
How much peanut butter did you use?
Oh, that's right. How much did I use? I used like 2 big, huge jars. Skippy. I like Skippy. Last year I bought the dry peanut butter.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because it's a good idea to keep the batter firm. Okay. So if I used jarred peanut butter, I put in extra confectionery sugar.
Oh, to
that's right.
It.
Yeah, to stiffen it. And like I said, last year I used the
dry.
Yeah.
So you didn't make it so sweet. Because when you add the confectionery, it's more sweeter, right?
It's 9 pounds of sugar. It's going to be sweet no matter what you do. Okay, so because I'm making 2 different kinds, I have these humongous bowls. And I put them both on the table. I take the butter out the night before and kind of soften it. And then I mix the 2 bowls separately. So anyone who would like the recipe, I think at 30 years, it's okay. Public domain now. So if anyone is interested in the recipe, I absolutely will share it with you. You can email me at Jonissa, Joan as in Nancy, S as in Stephen, @comcast.net. So it's Jonissa at comcast.net. You can write to intuitivebodyandsoul@gmail.com. And we will, you'll be able to get a hold of us that way too. That's our new email address that's dedicated to Intuitive Body and Soul. If you have questions for Miss Deborah. Also, you have information. She has information about her healing method and ways to get a hold of her if you have questions, especially now, okay? If you have questions about, how do I boost my immune system? She stays pretty well up on CDC recommendations and so on and so forth. Neither one of us are a doctor. We can't give you medical advice and stuff like that, but we can pass along information and whatnot.
Yeah, things we do.
And she has she's a medical person. She has good insight. So feel free to let us know. So what do you think, woman? You ready to wrap it up? You certainly did enough talking.
I know. Surprise.
I was being fresh. Well, it was, thank you again to Aaron Risi. Please, please, please like his page and watch his live shows. And, again, author, writer, musician, TV person. So we really do magnetize the very best of people.
Oh, yeah.
So we like if you are able to help support them in any way, even if it's just by viewing, and you will love this show. So share. Okay. Thank you. Stay healthy. Take your vitamins.
Be well.
Okay. All right. Until next time, we have some really cool people coming up later on. We have quite a list on our show. So stay in touch. Take your vitamins. Be healthy. Any last words?
No. Bye.
Our first time for everything.